Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Aireonna. Some unfortunate but expected news. Christian McCaffrey, the 49ers, just put Christian McCaffrey, the star running back, on IR. This was to be expected. He suffered a calf strain, which turned out to be Achilles tendonitis. Last year in week 17, he took himself out of week 17. Then they didn't play week 18 because they had already secured that number 1 seed. He pushed himself through the playoffs, rehab, rested all off season, got married, obviously was taking care of his calf and Achilles at that time. In OTAs and mini camp, he would practice some days, then some days he wasn't able to. That calf was really bothering him all off season. They only called it a calf strain because you're not required to give all the additional information. Obviously the calf and Achilles are right next to each other, so it was very probable that the Achilles was already bothering him. Think Aaron Rodgers last offseason, they called it a calf and it turned out to be an Achilles. Same thing happened with Kevin Durant when he was on the Warriors. They called it a calf problem, the Achilles popped. So it made sense that they were being careful with him when they ended up holding him out of all the preseason games. Now McCaffrey said his mindset was that he was going to play and he was going to be active. Unfortunately, he was not able to go week 1, which I'm not glad that he's injured, but I'm glad that the 49ers are careful with him. They gave him guaranteed money this offseason. Guaranteed money. For the next 2 years, they guaranteed his contract, which was not guaranteed up until this offseason, which I wonder if they're a little bit mad if he was dealing with this injury this whole time, that they ended up guaranteeing that salary for a 28-year-old running back who's had so much tread on his tires. Anyways, Christian McCaffrey still really struggling with that Achilles / calf injury. Yesterday was the first full all-out practice because it was a short week. They had walkthroughs for most of the week. They had one full-out practice. Apparently it was worse pain-wise, the worst pain that Christian McCaffrey has had all week. I don't know why they didn't shut him down and just have him not even practice a couple weeks ago. It feels like that could have helped. He could have been rehabbing and not stressing it every couple days. They weren't fully committed to it being an injury. They just kept wanting to push him, and I feel like that kept re-aggravating. Now he's going to be out. He's on IR for at least 4 weeks. I'm assuming he's going to be out for 5 weeks. The reason I'm assuming this week is Minnesota on turf. You also don't want him to fly and the inflammation and everything else. Then we have LA. That's turf. So he's going to be out those. Then the next 2 are at home against New England and I think Arizona, if I'm not wrong, but they're at home. After that, week 6 then, because week 1 already happened, but 5 weeks of IR. The week 5, the 49ers are flying to Seattle. And I'm going to assume Seattle's on turf. I think if you're aiming for Christian McCaffrey to come, you should aim for after Seattle. Because you don't want his first game back after being on IR for 4 weeks to be a trip, so flight, inflammation, and then playing on turf and re-aggravate it. Like I said, 49ers announced just now he's going to be out at least 4 weeks because he's on IR. I'm assuming that it'll at least be 5 weeks because there's no reason to push him and bring him back. Honestly, I'm maybe you need to bring in another running back because Jordan Mason has done great, but you can't put the entire workload on him every single week. You could have him be the number 1 back, but 28, 30 carries is too much. You don't want to break him down. But I'm thinking a healthy McCaffrey back for the playoffs, stuff like that, if they can wait that long, is the smartest choice because you don't want to mess around with those Achilles injuries. He already rested an entire offseason and it's still hurting him. I wonder if part of them is worried that it's going to pop no matter how much rest at this point. So if you're going to push him, I don't think he should push himself until the playoffs because they need him against good defenses in cold weather when that run game is super important. You want a healthy McCaffrey then. You don't want to push him too soon. I'm glad that they're taking the precaution and putting him on IR and really getting him that rest and rehab that he needs. I hope that they don't bring him back anytime sooner than he needs to. You don't want to mess around with that Achilles injury. Like I said, he's a running back, 28, a lot of wear and tear. You got to be very, very careful. My prayers go out for Christian McCaffrey. I know he wants to play, and that's how you know it's a big deal, because if he's not playing, it's because of pain. It's not because he's not trying. So anyways, that's the breaking news update. Be bringing you lots of content hopefully from Minneapolis, and I'm predicting obviously the 49ers are going to win because they're playing against Sam Darnold, but it will be an interesting game going against Justin Jefferson. How's Charvarius Ward going to do? Is Deommodore Lenoir going to be on him at any time? Going to be interesting to see that matchup, but at the end of the day, I think Sam Darnold's going to throw the ball to Fred Warner or someone, and 49ers should walk out with a victory. Anyways, thank you guys so much. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!